Hey guys, it's Christy. I'm here with card number 5 in my Loads of Love Valentine Card Series for 2014. Today I'm going to be using a couple stamps from Lawn Fawn. I'm just using the heart from this new Love You Tons stamp set. This was used in my card number 1 in this video series. And then I'm going to be using this Critters Down Under from Lawn Fawn. And the Cardabella Devoted paper pad. I've showed this before, so just a quick glance there. Alright, I've gone ahead and done some prep work for my card. I've die cut some of my images and fussy cut those and stamped my sentiment. Because today I just really wanted to focus on a technique that I wanted to show you. By the way, the dies that I used were the Lawn Fawn Stitch Journaling Tag dies and the banner that comes with it. And then the My Favorite Things wave die. This doesn't actually go in here. I just left it here to show it to you. I keep Lawn Fawn in this binder and this one in another one. So, but anyway, those are the ones that I used today. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be layering these waves. This was the piece that came out of there. And I want to make it look a little more wavy. So we're going to layer those. And we're going to put our crocodile in between, sort of like that. But that left this back panel really blank looking, and I wanted to do something to dress it up that would work with the Valentine theme. So I came up with this bokeh technique that we're going to stamp using a couple different inks. I've got this Angel Pink ink from Memento. This is one of the dewdrops. I've got Hibiscus Burst. This is from Paper Tray Ink, and Berry Sorbet from Paper Tray Ink. So for this bokeh technique, what we want to do is stamp out this tiny little heart in several different shades, and we're going to be doing some generation stamping as well. And if you don't know, generation stamping is just continuing to stamp without re-inking your stamp, so that any leftover ink ends up on the paper. We're going to come down from the right corner down to the left lower corner and just kind of make a pattern that looks good to us. So I'm going to go ahead and start way up here. And then, like I said, without re-inking, I'm just going to continue to stamp that until the ink is pretty much gone. Just layer that in that kind of diagonal pattern. Angel Pink doesn't show up too well with the next generation stamping, so I may have to stamp that one, you know, with the full ink coverage a little bit more than the other ones. I'm just going to continue to do that until we've got a pattern that looks nice and full. That looks pretty good to me. I think we're going to go ahead and leave it at that. Maybe one tiny, it's always good to stamp off the page because it just makes it look more continuous, and I think that'll be good. Now we can begin with the crocodile, and what I'm going to do is just take him and kind of get him situated the way I want him. I kind of want his head poking out of that wave so it's not covering his face, and that looks pretty good to me right there. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere him down. Just get a little bit of Tombow Mono Multi-Glue, and just going to add it a little bit here and there underneath him so that he stays where we want him. Now I'm going to take some dimensional adhesive and I'm going to add that to the back of the panel. Just adding a few of these to the crocodile as well, because we do want him to be popped off the page. Okay, now what I'm going to do before I adhere that to the card is I just want to place the crocodile over the background waves just how I want him to be. And then we're going to add some Tombow Mono to the background piece right where he's covering up the dimensional adhesive. Okay? And now we can place that on our bokeh panel. Okay, and once I'm satisfied with that, I can go ahead and trim around the outside. The best thing to do is flip it over and do it from the back. And it looks like our dimensional adhesive went everywhere we needed it to be. So we're good on that. Now I'm just going to take a couple more dimensional adhesives and I'm going to adhere that little stamped banner. And we can add that to our panel as well. Okay. Now I'm going to take our pattern paper here. I have this kind of different border strip there. And I'm going to adhere that to a standard size card, which is 5.5 by 4 1/4, and then I've trimmed my pattern paper down to 5 1/4 by 4 so that I get a nice little white border all around the outside edge. And I can see that this panel isn't standing out as much as I would like, so I'm going to do a trick that I did in one of my other videos, and I'm just going to line the little outer edge where the perforation is with a colored marker. And let's see, let me take my color chart here and I'm going to just try to match up that pattern paper. Looks like maybe just a BG2 ought to be good. So just take that and then just really carefully around the outside edge, I'm just going to fill that in. And normally I would not be able to get such a straight line, but because those perforations are there, that kind of gives you a boundary to stop at, so you know not to cross those lines and color into the image part of the panel. Okay. Let's try that. Okay, that just gives us a little bit more definition around the outside edges, and I'm much more pleased with that. So I'm going to go ahead and take a couple more dimensional adhesives. Another thing I wanted to mention about the card drive that all these cards are going to is that you do not need to include envelopes when you mail your cards. Winter Sims, who is running this card drive, is going to provide clear envelopes for all the cards so that they're able to be passed out by the nursing staff at St. Jude's. And so you just want to make sure that your card will fit inside a standard size envelope, which means that it needs to be 5.5 by 4 1/4 or smaller. It can be smaller than 5.5 by 4 1/4. It cannot be larger or it won't fit in the envelopes that she's already purchased. Now we're just going to stick this down in the center of our card. Get that nice and straight. And I'm going to keep it at that. So that's our card for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that bokeh technique. I hope you'll try that out yourself. And I hope that you'll check out the Cards for the Heart card drive and make some extra cards for those kids. So thank you so much for watching and have an awesome day. Bye-bye.